It is said that the ancient Greek historian Herodotus once wrote the phrase "the gift of the Nile," referring to the fertile soil carried by the river Nile across the African continent, the very blessing that allowed agriculture to flourish and gave rise to the vast and sophisticated civilization of ancient Egypt. On the European continent flows another great river, the Danube. From the early 20th century through the years surrounding the Second World War, the nations along the Danube experienced what could be called their own gift of the Danube, a golden age in which football evolved dramatically and these countries rose to prominence. Football, which had crossed the English Channel from Great Britain to the continent, carried with it the Scottish passing style, a philosophy brought by the English coach Jimmy Hogan, flowing like the Danube itself into the football cultures of Central Europe, Austria, Czechoslovakia, and Hungary. The style of play adopted by these three nations became known as the Danubian school. From Austria's 1920s wonder team and Czechoslovakia's 1934 World Cup finalists to Hungary's magical Magyars of the 1950s, each produced teams worthy of being called a golden age. In this episode, we will focus on one of football's enduring legends, the near-mythical Hungarian national team of the 1950s, forever remembered as the magical Magyars. It was the 1950s, only a few years after the end of the Second World War. At that time, the undisputed powerhouse of world football was Hungary. They were a side so dominant that they outclassed even the South American giants Brazil and Argentina, as well as the European elite, Germany, France, England, and Italy. Led by their talismanic left-footed marksman Ferenc Puskás, Hungary boasted a galaxy of talent, the aerial genius Sándor Kocsis, nicknamed the Golden Head, the original false nine Ananda Hajdaguti, the midfield orchestrator József Bozik, the explosive left-winger Zoltán Csiba, and the sweeper-keeper Gyula Grosics. Under the brilliant guidance of manager Gustav Sebes, this remarkable squad went unbeaten for 4 years, a run of dominance rarely seen in football history. The Hungarian side combined exquisite individual skill with the functional beauty of cutting-edge tactical innovation. In time, they were affectionately dubbed the Wizards of Football, the Magical Magyars, and were admired across the globe. Yet despite their brilliance, they fell just short of World Cup glory. Soon after, fate turned cruelly against them, and within only 4 years of their rise to prominence, the team was gone. This is the story of that ill-fated dream team, Hungary's magical Magyars. Let us turn back the clock to 1952. The Helsinki Olympics took place in Finland. Representing Hungary that had joined the Soviet-led Eastern Bloc after the war, the national team swept aside Italy and other formidable opponents with overwhelming dominance to claim the gold medal. Their record, 5 wins from 5 matches, scoring 20 goals. In November 1953, the Hungarians travelled to England to face the national team at London's Wembley Stadium. England, the self-proclaimed birthplace of football, had never been beaten at the hallowed Wembley. Before nearly 100,000 spectators, the hosts entered the match full of confidence. But what unfolded before them would shake the very foundations of English football. The dazzling technique and telepathic combinations of Puskás, Hajdaguti, and Kocsis left the English players utterly helpless, overrun and bewildered. England managed to strike back with goals of their own, but Hungary responded with even greater ferocity, producing a breathtaking display of attacking football. The final score, England 3, Hungary 6. It was England's first ever home defeat by a continental team, a humiliating loss that sent shockwaves throughout the footballing world and cemented Hungary's reputation as the new masters of the game. Under manager Sebes, Hungary employed the so-called WM system, a 3-2-3-2 formation. While built upon the Scottish short passing game, the system added a distinctly Hungarian twist, players moved fluidly, unconstrained by fixed positions, creating ever-changing attacking patterns. For instance, Hidegkuti, playing as a deep-lying centre-forward, often interchanged positions with Puskas and Kosis to disrupt the marking system and carve open spaces, a hallmark of their strategy. It was as if their football had arrived from 2 decades in the future, a prototype of the total football that Johan Cruyff's Netherlands would unveil at the 1974 World Cup. Indeed, Rinus Michels, the architect of that Dutch side, later admitted that Hungary's play had been one of his inspirations. After that stunning match, voices from across the world hailed Hungary as the overwhelming favourites for the upcoming 1954 World Cup in Switzerland.